I'm gonna say this and I might get flack for this. I might be autistic. I'm having my diagnosis next week. So like when I'm asking this, I'm genuinely asking, can you not do the Giga Chat thing with my next question so I'll know if you're 100% serious or not?
I'm not doing any Giga Chad posturing with you. It's just called being confident in your positions. The fact that the online
Okay.
left is full of so many spineless worms that what I'm doing right now is considered strange is very, very upsetting to me. I literally just
Okay.
agree with the things that I believe in.
Okay. So if someone, anyone, not black, no white, anyone in this space came to you and said, hey, I have a critique of you, or I disagree with you, they are wrong 100% because you've already introspected on anything. So if they didn't convince you when you listened to it, they are just wrong. And there's no way that you're wrong.
I've had my mind changed before. I don't have a problem with critique against me.
Okay. So how would so basically what would be required of some of the voices who feel like you're anti-black to I guess make you feel like they're not all just racist against white people?
A single good argument would be a nice start.
How but you won't watch the video.
Do I have to watch all their... If, listen, I'm a big figure. If they care
Yeah.
so much about moving me over, they should make their positions known to me so I can see it. I can't watch every drama video. How long was that video anyway? She just wants... what if she just wants clout? What argument did she
Yeah.
levy that would change me?
Okay.
Is it an argument I
So
haven't heard before?
so can I make a few arguments?
Go for it.
Okay. I think that you constantly comparing black separatism to Nazism is absurd.
I like making
Um,
comparisons.
yes. And I think that you making that comparison is both anti-black and is harmful to black liberation.
Well, I think that black separatism is harmful to black liberation. So by comparing it to Nazism, I'm trying to draw comparisons
Demonize
to
it.
indicate how... Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So you at least acknowledge that that's what you're doing.
of course. I think very little of their quote-unquote ideology.
Okay. And you feel like you know enough about black separatism, black nationalism, and all the difference to be able to compare it to Nazism.
Well, you can compare anything to anything. The point of a comparison
Yes.
is to draw similarities,
The
not to assert that
utility,
they're both the
yes.
same.
Yes, of course. So is the utility to comparing black separatism to Nazism purely to demonize black separatism in all of its forms?
Sure. And also, I
Okay.
guess, I do find it sort of funny. People often associate Nazi politics and fascist politics with white people. Of course, that's not true. There are fascist groups in Africa. Um, I think a lot of people, especially in the online left, operate in the assumption that non-white people operate some kind of, monolithic block of progressive politics, which is actually a very harmful presumption. That is racist. So I think that it's important to point out the things that make people Nazis, the underlying beliefs, the tendencies, the trends. Those aren't like white specific. Nazism is generally white specific because of a couple of add-ons that particularize it to white issues. But the broader trend of reactionary fascist ideology, that's all over the world.
So you're fine calling black people Blitler and stuff like that if you think they're anti-white.
Yeah. Well, they have to be. It can be anti-white or they can be anti-Semitic. They can be pro-ethno state. These things tend to overlap.
Okay, so it's just about demonization.
I don't. Yeah, I don't like the ideology. I will. I will do that. Yes.
Okay, I guess my response would be that I don't feel like you have. Well, you said you don't like the ideology, so obviously that means you don't have any respect for it.
Well,
Um,
yeah.
but I do think that's quite interesting into saying that, like, I guess the total dismissal and demonization of something like black separatism, like, even if you disagree with it, it's still one of the ways that black people have developed as a potential tool or theory to look at black liberation, and like tossing it aside in a way that really demonizes it and compares it to like white supremacy versus black liberation is quite anti-black.
Yeah, they're
and that would be like my take on it.
yeah, I'm taking their idea and I'm crumpling it and I'm throwing it in the garbage. It's a bad idea. Bad ideas don't get more credence from me because people with higher melanin content made them. That would be
No, no, no.
racist.
You can think it's a bad idea, but you also can recognize that black liberation is not the same as white supremacy.
It's not black liberation that I'm criticizing. It's black separatism. I'm in favor of black liberation. You're
Black,
conflating terms in a way, by the way, that Nazis do quite often. They'll compare their Nazi ideology to white liberation, white protectionism, white identitarianism, and white autonomy. But in reality, what they're
yes.
really talking about is the formation of an ethno-state and the execution or ostracization of large groups of people. I don't
So,
appreciate the semantic jumbling. I know what black
mhm,
separatism means. It means ethno-states. So
yeah.
you can say
So,
it's liberation, but I don't think
mhm.
people are being liberated when they're forming their own little fucking death camp. I think that liberation means equality.
Yeah, that's why you support Kurdistan, right? Because you don't believe in independence and shit like that.
Wait, hold on. All right, I'll educate you.
Please do.
The problem with Kurdistan and the comparison that
Hmm.
you just made is that
Hmm.
first of all, any iteration of Kurdistan which became immediately a militant ethno-state would be one that I would
Hmm.
oppose. If
Hmm.
Kurdistan then immediately prevented Turkish or Iranian or Iraqi people from entering, killed them, ostracized them, removed families, burned down houses, neighborhoods, villages, I would oppose that. I think that's ridiculous.
Good. You should oppose that with black separatist projects as well.
Right. I
Except
don't
not
like
all of them are like that.
Well, ethno-states are ethno-states. And second of all, I think that the material conditions for the Kurds are very different from black Americans. If there
I
are
agree.
black Americans who want to leave America and go to Africa, good luck to them. I don't think it'll make their lives any better, but good luck to them. Whereas the formation of a new state for Kurdistan actually could materially improve the lives of many people. It's a broader utilitarian concern.
Yeah, I definitely think what you just said is like super anti-black for sure.
What did I just say that
Um,
was anti-black?
I think the implication that like black people in America can go try out their luck elsewhere, sending them to Africa, or saying if they want to try their luck in Africa, go ahead, is pretty anti-black.
That is
Yeah.
what black separatists often talk about. They talk about going to Africa and forming a pan-African ethno-state.
Pan-Africanism and black separatism are not the same things. Black separatism does not always mean an ethno state. There are black nationalist projects. Although black separatism and black nationalism are not the same thing. But the thing that people have been trying to talk to you about for a long time, and God knows I'm not educated enough to do it as well as they did, is that you are speaking very confidently about theories and topics that you are not very well versed in. And you could have just said that, but instead you're just like, no, this is like Nazism.
It's a shame
This
that
is why
nobody's yet been able to point out an issue on which I've been wrong.
I've just pointed out
What did I say
several
that was
issues.
incorrect?
What did you say that was incorrect? Yes. So when you said I'm being like the Nazis by mixing semantics, I was specifically talking about how Nazism relies on the concept of white supremacy and how that's a big Aryan supremacy, and that's obviously the core component of it. And
It's
I
not the
will
core
get to,
component.
okay,
You
one of
didn't
the
listen
core
to a word that I
components.
said.
Can
Reactionary
I finish?
fascist ideology is global. It molds and shifts and changes to adopt preferential treatment towards the dominant group and malignant treatment towards the minority groups all over the world.
Okay,
But the underlying
so when you
disease
say
is
Nazism,
universal.
so when you say Nazism, you just mean fascism and you just use them interchangeably because they are not the same thing and you shouldn't do that.
Reactionary fascism, which Nazism is. The only distinguishing characteristics of Nazism, apart from those particular to the time and place that would change even a decade in either direction in the Weimar Republic, I mean, really meaningful stuff, is the white supremacy and the anti Semitism.
There's a
Thankfully,
reason why you say Nazism and not reactionary fascism. It's
thank,
again to charge the word.
thankfully, for my comparison, black separatists also tend to be anti Semitic. So that is a nice extra comparison that I get to draw.
That is, again, quite anti black, but okay.
Have you listened to Luis Farrakhan speak recently?
No, I haven't.
It's
I just
anti-black
don't
to
have the
point out
statistics to say
anti-Semitism.
that black people are the black people who have an affinity to black separatism are anti-Semitic in their majority.
If you want, we
So
can go over prominent black separatist groups. I think the SPLC lists many of them as hate groups. Would you like to?